what prompted you to want to do comedy, and then how did you get into it?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I've been fascinated with comedy. This is something I've been interested in since I'm like kindergarten. I did my first open mic when I was like 6, 7 years old.
Right.
I was taken to some type of show. I don't remember exactly, and can't ask my dad about it. But there's something there with the comedy I was doing in first grade. So I've always had an interest in it. I don't remember where that came from, but did like comedy from when I was like a senior in high school and started doing open mics and just getting into it. I just always liked the idea of performing and the art of it.
Yeah. And you, dude, like you are a funny guy, and like you've always been like a funny guy, great sense of humor, super attractive, like, all that good stuff.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, of course, man. So, but all right, so you get into comedy, right? What is in So I feel like there's like comedy scenes, right? Is that like, at least
Yep.
that's what like I've been told, is that like it's a comedy scene is the deal. So what kind of like comedy scenes were you getting into, and what's the Philadelphia comedy scene like? Like what'd you have
Yeah,
going on?
well, I mean, I haven't been in the Philadelphia comedy scene for probably about a decade, or maybe 8, 9 years. But like
But you were in it for a
when
decade
I
though.
was in it, I was really in it. I mean, I think being in it could, depends what level you're at. But for me, it meant like I was doing some type of performance every night. If it was an open mic or some type of guest spot, or hopefully, if even better, getting some type of paid spot on the weekend. But I was
Yeah.
definitely very involved in it. And then at some point, like circa 2012, 2013, I started doing my own show, Bluebell, at this restaurant where I was promoting it, creating the flyers, hiring the comics, paying the comics, setting the room up, in terms of the production and the lighting. And so I was, and that show ran for at least 18 to 24 months. That was a
Wow.
monthly. That was a monthly show, so it wasn't like every weekend or anything. But that was once a month we would do that, and it was pretty successful. Like sometimes 2 shows in a weekend. So
Wow. And how many people would you get per what was
we
the
fit like
room
a
sold
hundred
out at?
people in that room, maybe. So for a
Dude,
private
that's a
show, wasn't
good
too
little
bad.
room then,
Definitely.
Like
There
that's
was a nice little
incredible,
stint.
man.
Yeah, there was a nice little run where I sold definitely like 100 shows or 100 tickets a show for like 4 or 5 months in a row. So
Really?
yeah, it was
And it
really
was
good.
an every weekend thing?
No, not no. So it was monthly. It was monthly. That's the
Once
only
a
thing.
month. Okay.
Once a month.
So what, dude, people don't realize like the amount of like work it takes to promote something like that, that you would get 100 people every month, and like you had a good run. Like, dude, that's takes so much. Cause I remember like we did a live show, God, a couple of years ago, but we did a show, and it was, I had to beat Tom in a game of Mario Kart to win the rights back to the show. Everybody knows the story. It's well documented. Um, but either way, yeah, Tom had bought the rights to the show out from underneath me from my previous co-host slash business partner Shake. And in order to get the rights to the show back, I had to beat him in a game of Mario Kart live at Graham's Pub, which I did, right? And we promoted the shit out of that thing, and I'd hired like a videographer and everything, and like we shot with like produced and shot a ton of like video material for like leading up. Like we did like a 24/7 style like lead up show and everything like that, and we
That's
had
cool.
different things. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we promoted that really well, and like the videos on that did well, right? And then, we were begging to get 30 people, and we begged,
It's
right?
tough, dude.
But like we had like bar people, like it ended up being like with the bar patrons that were there, it was over 100 people. But like people that were there just because of us, it was probably like around 35 to 40, which is still
Yeah,
cool, right? And it was still
absolutely.
fun, and like it was still a good event and a lot of fun. But for you to be able to get 100 people in consecutive months, dude, that is huge. And like it was all word of mouth.
No, I mean we had, I think at that point in time, right, 2012, like yeah, definitely Facebook and whatever social media platforms I was trying to use, but I was definitely still using like paper flyers too, and yeah, I mean I definitely Facebook because I get reminded all the time. It'll be like here's your ad from 10 years ago. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot
Oh,
about that.
dude. Yeah, I
So
get that.
But yeah, it was good. It was a good run. It was fun, the business side of it. And for what it was worth during that time, it helped me with my network of comedians because, again, to some point, networking is very important in comedy, who you know and who you can get connected to and get in front of and whatnot.
Yeah, nice, dude.